Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Federico Talks Watches. Now today, I want to talk about the Rolex Submariner, a topic that we've discussed quite a few times on this channel. But today's going to be a little bit different. More than just discuss the Submariner, I wanted to ask you guys a question. And that is, why is the Submariner so popular? Now, of course, no disrespect to the Submariner, it's an iconic watch. In fact, when you think of luxury watch, you think a Rolex Submariner. And I'm sure there's a bunch of reasons why it's risen to such an iconic status. And I'm going to give you a few reasons that I think has propelled the Submariner to such heights, but more importantly, I'd like to get your guys' take on it as well. Now, of course, customary wristwatch check. I am wearing the Rolex Submariner pre-ceramic on a NATO strap. And yeah, I mean, listen, it's a great little piece. Everybody here knows that it's not my favorite watch in the world, but it's an undisputed classic, and it's a fantastic timepiece. I don't think anybody can say anything against those points. So let's get into it. The Rolex Submariner was introduced in the Basel Watch Fair in 1954, and it retailed for, get this, $150. Man, I wish I had one of those. And it's quickly propelled itself to the status of the most iconic luxury timepiece, if not the most iconic timepiece period of all time. And it has a few features that are synonymous with the Submariner. It's 300-meter water resistant, it's 40-millimeter case, it's unidirectional bezel, it's triple lock crown, and of course, it's evolved over the years. You know, it didn't used to have crown guards, now it does, now the bezel is ceramic, but the overall look hasn't really changed too much. A Submariner's been recognizable since it first came out. And did you guys know that the Rolex Submariner is the most counterfeited watch in the world? No doubt that speaks to its iconic status and the fact that it's so in demand. Now, the Submariner was used for military usage. It was used by Comex, which is a French diving company that has saturation divers, and, you know, Comex used Submariners until 1997. It was used by James Bond, not in all his films, but in a lot of films, up until 1989 in the last film License to Kill. Yes, he wore a few other brands such as Seiko and Breitling, but the Submariner is undoubtedly the James Bond watch. Now, as I said, when anybody thinks of a luxury watch, they think of the Submariner. And I think that's for a few reasons. Firstly, the design hasn't changed. It's transcendental. It's transcended an era. Yes, it's gotten a little chunkier, it's gotten a different material for the bezel, but pretty much they've all looked the same. And they've become very versatile. It grew and became a watch as a tool watch meant for diving, but nowadays Submariners are very rarely used for diving. They're seen in the office, worn with suits, worn even black tie. And I think its versatility is because it's an icon, not necessarily due to the design. Yes, the design is a classic, but if you look at watches from the 50s, 60s, and 70s, a Submariner would never be worn in those other situations. But its iconic status has made its design very, very versatile. Not to mention, it's probably considered a milestone piece. Many watch lovers and watch aficionados kind of always want a Submariner in their collection, especially as part of a milestone. And even more importantly, even non-watch lovers, when they buy a luxury watch, you might not be a crazy collector, you might not care about watches too much, but let's say you graduate college or you close a big deal and you're going to buy that one good watch, chances are it's going to be a Rolex Submariner. And it's because it's synonymous. I mean, I've said this 1,000 times in this video already, but it's synonymous with a luxury watch. But more importantly, what does a Submariner mean to you guys? Is it the end-all be-all? Do you agree with me that it's synonymous with, iconic luxury wristwatches? Why do you think it's become so popular? I think it has a lot to do with the fact that it's a very good watch. They very rarely break. It's got a great reputation, and they hold their value very well, but that's because they're so popular. and because the design hasn't really changed. So it's been kind of ingrained in our heads year after year. And that's true for most Rolexes. Look at the Datejust and the Explorer. I mean, very little has changed. What do you think has made the Submariner so iconic? Leave me a comment in the comment section below. And don't forget to slap a like on this video if you found it useful, and subscribe so you don't miss any more content. I know today's a little bit of a shorter episode, but I'm gonna use some of the information from this video to make a follow-up. So please, let me know your thoughts on what makes the Rolex Submariner the ultimate luxury watch, at least in terms of demand. And check out my Instagram page, that's Federico Talks Watches, link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching another episode of Federico Talks Watches, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.